Asians have long been stereotyped in Hollywood films. They have been portrayed as martial arts masters, submissive supporting characters, and mysterious foreigners.
Oh, okay. You know karate? No. Good.
But over time, the number of Asians appearing in American movies has greatly increased, and as a result, there have been more diverse representations of Asians. In the first decade of the 21st century, Asians were portrayed in all genres of film, from action movies to dramas to animated movies.
While many of the past stereotypes persist in this decade, a clear distinction is made between Asians who uphold their heritage and Asians who do not. Asians who uphold tradition continue to be portrayed as outsiders and have the same stereotypes placed upon them. They are still exotic, passive, and reclusive. Some Asians, however, are displayed without stereotypes. But these people, while not stereotyped, must act white, not Asian, in order to gain respect and acceptance. In other words, they must make the journey to the White Castle.
Many Asian characters in 2000s Hollywood films practice Asian culture but embody common Asian stereotypes.
This is America, dude! Learn how to drive! Better run tomorrow!
In the movie Hannibal Rising, Lady Murasaki upholds the stereotype of an Asian as the silent enemy.
Hey, Japanese, tell me the truth. Does your pussy run crossways? Huh? With a puff of straight airs like a little explosion.
She teaches Hannibal the fighting techniques of the martial arts she learned from her Japanese culture. However, when Hannibal begins using her lessons to kill and torture, she does not stop him. Therefore, Lady Murasaki is the unseen enemy. She gives him the methods to commit his killings and condones them in not acting.
Other traditional Asians are portrayed as unwelcoming.
What's she saying?
Welcome to her home.
No, she's not.
Yeah, no, she didn't.
Okay. Hey.
Gran Torino displays the older generation as hostile and secluded, and these portrayals evoke the stereotype of Asians as reclusive people who can only accept other Asians. Further, many Asians are displayed as spiritual to the point that they appear exotic. For instance, this elderly Hmong man in Gran Torino reads palms. The fact that he correctly predicts Kowalski's trait through his reading only adds to his mystique.
In The Matrix Reloaded, Seraph appears spiritual as well.
I am Seraph. I can take you to her. But first I must apologize. Apologize for what? For this.
But soon he begins to embody another common Asian stereotype, the Asian as the aggressive and skilled martial arts fighter. Seraph is not unique. Movies such as Rush Hour 2 and Hannibal Rising also display Asian characters as martial arts masters. Through these portrayals, the movies make them appear foreign and exotic. This scene from Rush Hour 2 is of particular interest because Jackie Chan's character, Lee, is outfitted in a purple bathrobe, unique from his enemies. Chris Tucker puts what seem to be the costumer's thoughts into words.
Sorry, man. Oh, y'all look alike. Watch out!
These stereotypes, however, apply only to the more traditional Asians. Asians who leave their heritages behind and act more white are free of most of these portrayals. For instance, Sue, a Hmong teenager in Gran Torino, does not partake in practices of her Hmong culture like her parents.
Hmong people tend to smile or grin when they're yelled at. It's a cultural thing. It expresses embarrassment or insecurity. It's not that they're laughing at you or anything.
You people are nuts.
When Kowalski visits her home, she shows off the practices as though walking through a museum. Hence, she acts as though she is separate from Hmong culture and therefore abandons her heritage for the White Castle. Unlike her parents, she is outgoing and confident. Sue is willing to stand up for herself and speak up for what she believes in. Thus, she defies the common stereotype of Asians as passive and shy. Even in animated films, characters must deny tradition to earn success. In Kung Fu Panda, Po is displayed as incompetent and unworthy as long as he tries to respect the teachings of his masters. However, once he stops doing Kung Fu and instead uses unique fighting techniques, he rises to the challenge to defeat the enemy. Even he must reject traditional teachings to succeed.
Other Asian characters must make a long journey to the White Castle to defy stereotypes. Sue's brother, Tao, at first embodies a stereotypical Asian. He's an introvert, content to sit alone during a party, and unable to stand up for himself in confrontations. However, as he begins spending more time with Walt Kowalski, he changes. Under the guide of this white American war veteran, Tao sheds stereotypes and becomes confident, hardworking, and even socially adept.
What's up, you old Italian prick?
While his Hmong parents guided him to become a stereotypical introverted Asian, his white mentor gives him the power to shed these aspects and become a hardworking, ideal American. The longest journey to the White Castle is the most literal one. In Harold and Kumar Go to the White Castle, Harold initially embodies the stereotype of a passive, submissive Asian. He's focused on only work and does not defend himself or Kumar when people take advantage of them, which happens frequently.
That's your responsibility now, big boy. Make sure those are in by 9 o'clock sharp tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, no problem.
The only non-stereotypical aspect of Harold is that he's not interested in the traditional Asian culture. However, on his journey to the White Castle, he begins to shed stereotypes. He defies authority in breaking out of jail and stands up for himself by stealing the car of the people who have been ruining his night.
Thank you, come again!
Dude, that was so not extreme.
Kumar makes the importance of reaching the White Castle clear in a telling speech.
Let me tell you, it's about far more than that. Our parents came to this country, escaping persecution, poverty, and hunger. Hunger, Harold. They were very, very hungry. And they wanted to live in a land that treated them as equals. A land filled with hamburger stands. And not just one type of hamburger, okay? Hundreds of types with different sizes, toppings, and condiments. That land was America. America, Harold. America. Now this is about achieving what our parents set out for. This is about the pursuit of happiness. This night is about the American dream.
I hate you, Kumar.
Indeed, once Harold and Kumar reach the White Castle, the very man who stole their car earlier returns it to them, pays for their meal, and pays for the damage of the car.
Yeah, it was a dick move on my part. That's why I'm paying for your meal.
They're respected once they reach the White Castle in ways that they never were before.
Despite some progress in the portrayals of Asians in American film, there are still troubling aspects to these representations. The only Asian characters with any depth are those who abandon Asian culture and act white, like Sue and Tao, or those who are in pursuit of whiteness, like Harold and Kumar. All other Asian characters are merely martial arts fighters, silent enemies, or reclusive foreigners. Therefore, if Asian characters are to be displayed as complex people without stereotypes, they must make their own journeys to White Castle. Everyone else in 2000s films is no less stereotyped than Asian characters of the past.